Welcome. My name is Lydia Kabatoff. I'm an aromatherapist located in Kelowna, BC. My reason for making this video was originally just for my family and friends, to provide them important information so that they could use essential oils safely. Then as I got into the video, I thought, geez, a lot of this information other people should know as well. So I'm providing it here because those who are unaware of being unaware. I have taken many different essential oil classes over the years. Most did not give certificates. Most of my certificates that I have are from the Canadian Institute of Natural Health and Healing here in Kelowna, where I received most of my certificates, but also I got to work there. The knowledge, the experiences, and the stories were invaluable from the students doing their case studies at the school. So I heard from their clients and from the students, and the clients sometimes would call back later and let me know what happened with the essential oils after the massages. I have been using oils since the 70s, where I started using fragrant oils like this one. I used to make my own perfumes because the ones that I used to buy from the stores, my throat would get sore, or I'd get a headache, or I'd feel like I'm coming down with a cold. Then I started using oils to make my own products, like for cleaning and disinfecting counters and the clothes and hands and in the air to fight off viruses. And then to keep mosquitoes away in the summertime, and then to make ointments for sore muscles and cuts and scrapes and burns, and the list goes on. So I'm constantly experimenting and making my own just about everything. So I progressed from using this size bottle, then I went to using this size bottle, then I went to using this size bottle, then went to using this size bottle, and now I even use this size bottle. So you can tell I've been using these for a long time. So this video and information is made possible because of the hundreds of case studies I had to do in order to get all my certificates, and having my own business, doing massages, hearing all the experiences from the students and their clients, as well as my own clients, my family, friends, and most of all myself. Of course, working at the college and doing the shipping and receiving of the oils, filling the bottles with essential oils for the student kits. That was quite an experience all on its own, which I will give you stories later on about that. One of my experiences while filling up the student kits was a co-worker would be sitting just about downwind, and I'd be filling up the student kits, the bottles with essential oils, and the air would go wafting by, and you could see the effects that it was having on that person that was trying to concentrate and get their work done on the computer, and you could see they're just having a really hard time concentrating because the oils are affecting them. They're not having them on them just by the smell in the air. And by filling them, you can only fill so many bottles before you start having effects of the oils as well. So that was quite an experience. Another reason for prompting this video is the fact that one of my clients came and told me that she bought some pure peppermint essential oil and put it straight onto her temples and around her hairline to get rid of her headaches. This, I will tell you why it was not a very good idea later on in the video. I feel it's necessary to give you some of my knowledge and warnings, or essential oils may be taken away from us and given to the drug companies, and then we will all need a doctor's prescription to use them. Now, children's systems are underdeveloped and senior systems are less able to handle the toxicity, and the care must be taken. Pregnant women and women who want to become pregnant, I would say stay away from the oils. Unless you know what you're doing, stay away from the oils if you want to become pregnant. Or if you are pregnant, then of course they can go into your baby, so you have to really watch. People who have high blood pressure, liver, or heart problems, stay away, because there's oils that could make it worse or make it better. So you have to know what you're doing. And people who have any type of seizures should also stay away from any of the essential oils. The fastest way to get essential oils into your system is by breathing it. When you smell it, it's in your lungs. When you apply it on your skin, it's going into your system and possibly in your blood system. To give you an example, if you put just a few drops of undiluted rose damask onto your skin, you could run into a big problem, and I will tell you that story later on in the video. Personally, I do not recommend using essential oils on animals. Cats and dogs are very sensitive to smells. My cats could find catnip placed very high up in the cupboard. If I used essential oils during the day, even though I washed, sometimes my cats or my dogs would not even come near me for the rest of the day. That's how potent and how strong those smells are to them. My dogs used to track the kids who would go out in the fields and hide, and we would keep the dogs inside and then let the dogs out when it was ready. They would actually go along the line that exactly where the kids went. So if the kids zigzagged, so did the dogs in the field. And that gives you an idea of how keen their sense of smell is. They've also been used in search and rescue. Now, the dogs have a very terrific, keen sense of smell, and it would be a real shame to destroy that with essential oils, because they are so strong. Now, having said that, on the other hand, yes, I would use essential oils on my pets. If they had a serious infection, and because I deal with essential oils and I know how to dilute them and things, I would then use it. But only then, and even then, I am leery. I belonged to a news group called Well Pet for about 8 or 9 years, and there were many doctors and veterinarians and breeders. There's aromatherapists, herbalists, homeopaths, and many other very professional people on there. They used to discuss things and sometimes have very heated arguments about essential oils and other things. And what they said is that animals have fewer layers of skin than humans, and cats having less than dogs have. And they said that it could damage the liver as well as their noses. So that's why I said, beware, don't use essential oils on animals. In Canada, only the doctors and the drug companies, food and drug companies, can legally use essential oils to put either ingest or in suppositories. So don't use it there, or you could be in trouble with them. If you start having a reaction to any of the essential oils or a blend, just add oil, like grapeseed, olive oil, coconut oil, anything but water, because water and oil do not mix. And then just wash with soap and water. Now, if your child should happen to swallow some essential oil, do not induce vomiting. Call the Poison Control Center. Then, while they are coming, either get the child to ingest some carrier oil or some whole milk or some dry bread to help sop it up. Now, just because something works really well for your friend or your family member does not mean it's going to work well for you. and that means whether it's prescription drugs or counter drugs or essential oils. So here's a story about NyQuil. My girlfriend, who was having trouble sleeping, she couldn't sleep for about 2 or 3 days. So I said, "Oh, take some NyQuil. It knocks me out." So she took some NyQuil, and she was up for another day or two because the NyQuil actually ended up doing the opposite and kept her awake instead of putting her to sleep. Now with this demo, I wanted to show you just how potent some of the essential oils are. Now this one here I've got into so many different containers because of the smell of it. So here I've had it in this plastic bottle, in the glass bottle, in a plastic bag, and I don't even want to take it out of the plastic bag because it is so strong, like even my hands will be smelling now. And that is garlic. Now if you had smell-o-vision, you'd be able to smell that right now. So that is how strong some of the oils can get. And there you go. Don't put essential oils in any water or anything that's not specifically made for it. I'll tell you my story. I had this one gorgeous lamp. It had water and a light and a motor sitting in it. And I put just some essential oils in there because it was circulating the water, making the room smell really nice. Well, after a while, it stopped working so well. So when I took it apart, there was this gob of black stuff, which was the motor. But it was even unrecognizable because when I took it in to get a replacement so I could fix my light, the guy looks at me and he goes, "What's that?" And I goes, "Like, that's the motor, like it replaced." And he looks at me and he goes, "That?" There was no distinguishing marks on it at all. All it was a blob of black gooky stuff. And that's what essential oils can do. Now as far as using rubber stoppers, I don't advise it because the fumes can go up and ruin this. It's not just the essential oils, it's the fumes from the essential oils that ruin these. And plastic containers, essential oils will just melt those. I will show you a demo of that here shortly. Essential oils, if you put the bottles onto painted surface, even though it's prepared and it's got carrier oil, it will make the lot of the paint will bubble up. Now for rubber stoppers, I really don't advise using them because I don't know if you could see this, but it gets kind of mushy, and not because the essential oil goes right into it, it's because the fumes actually melt the rubber, and then the rubber goes inside there, and I don't know if you could tell, it even goes on to the jar of the lid, and I don't know if you could see the black. So if you could see the black, that could be getting into the oil. So it does ruin, the oils do ruin the rubber. And here I could show you, it's already getting stuck. It's already getting stuck onto this one. And this one I've only had in for, oh gosh, maybe 3-4 months. Now for this next demo, I want to show you just what some of the essential oils can do to a bottle. Now this here is the plastic bottle, and then when we get to the front or the bottom where the essential oils usually stay, look at how soft. It just, the whole thing just caves right in. Now, and here's another one. You can tell that it's kind of hard there. And then where the essential oils were sitting, it just kind of turns to mush. And here's another one, where as you can tell, it's kind of hard up there. And then you get to there and it's kind of just soft. So, there you have it. Now here are some of the books that I have used for information gathering in this video. Now, this information is not a replacement for any medical treatment or therapy. There's Dr. Gary Young of Young Living Essential Oils, uses his concept that the frequency of the body can be affected by the electrical frequency of essential oils. This book was written by Janine Stromkins, and she has written a book called The Autonomic Nervous System and Aromatherapy. This concept is divided the essential oils into sympathetic, which is the fight or flight, and the parasympathetic, which is not bothered by much, and of course balance, which balances the sympathetic and parasympathetic. These two books are written by Rosemary Caddy, and she is a qualified clinical aromatherapist. Her concept uses some of the chemical constituents of the essential oils. Her information gets very scientific and technical, but she divides them into chemical families and illustrates easy to follow colors representing which essential oil to use, whether it's stimulating or balancing or relaxing on the major body systems. Now, this large book is the one that I took when I took my aromatherapy course. The instructor was Connie Brummett, and she teaches a certificate course on aromatherapy from her Canadian Institute of Natural Health and Healing College, which is where I studied and received my certification. We were taught to use the primary benefits of the essential oils, properties on the major body systems, and the contraindications of 70 essential oils, including their family names, the botanical names, just to give you an idea of the fraction of information given in this course. Okay, here's the history. I know how bad history is, but I will try to make this as interesting as I possibly can. It's just that essential oils or oils were used a long time ago. They didn't just get discovered. So documents indicate that perfume oils have been used in the Egyptian age in the 4500 BC. And in the biblical days, you heard of these oils like frankincense. It was used to help with the birthing for the uterus. And then there was myrrh, was used for healing wounds. And then there was hyssop, that was said to be passed to Jesus when he was on the cross. And then there was frankincense and pine, and that was kind of burned in the streets for the bubonic plague, the Black Death. So essential oils or oils have been used for a very long time. Okay, enough on history. I could go on, and there was so much interesting things on history, but I will get on with the rest of the show. Now, I have seen and felt a lot of the benefits on myself and the clients over the years. So I know the effects that the essential oils can produce. I've used essential oils